Greetings, one and all. I'm here for a repeat broadcast. I did do this yesterday, but some type of way it didn't really copy over well to YouTube. So I'm going to do it again. And this is very important, so I don't mind covering it again and going over it again. I think everybody should know about this. This is very big news and great news. Yesterday, the United States of America has officially banned artificial coloring in food. The statement was made yesterday, and this is really, 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 really great news because these artificial flavors and coloring, from what I know, they're banning the artificial coloring right now, not the flavors yet. But the artificial coloring and the artificial ingredients in these foods have caused an increase in ulcers and have made a lot of children have stomach issues. So this is really big news. You can go check it out. It should be all over the media. And I was really excited. I watched it closely. And it was really amazing. It was really something great to watch. I'm not going to kid you. It was a big step. A lot of us was wondering how long it would be before America would make that step. We was wondering, like, when is America going to make that step? So I watched the announcement yesterday. It came from this man right here that's holding up the watermelon juice. He was stating at the time that watermelon juice could be used if you want coloring. He also said beet juice, carrot juice. These things can be used for coloring. This is the FDA Commissioner Martin McCary. And I know he was very happy to be the one to make that history, to announce that they're going to get rid of petroleum-based food dyes from the U.S., and they're getting rid of petroleum-based food dyes for food supply and medication. Now, I don't know why. You would have petroleum-based food dyes in medication. I don't know what difference the color of the medicine makes, okay? Seriously. You got to be kidding me. It's medicine. So I'm not understanding why it's got to have these colors to it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Like, what does the color matter? And then if you make a medicine and you add some type of petroleum-based food dye, isn't that going to affect the medicine some type of way? Shouldn't medicine be kind of pure? I would think so. So I found that to be a little crazy. And so that was a big deal. A lot of people are excited about that all across the country. There's been a group of women and a group of Americans all together that have been pushing for America to do something about the health situation. And they want increased protection, and they want better health in the United States. There's a group called Make America Healthy Again. And a lot of the women from the organization were there at the announcement. I think that's something good coming out of this administration. I'm going to call a ace. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's a win for Donald Trump for sure. And it's a good look for Kennedy. I can say, okay, he's doing a good job right off the top. If his first, if Kennedy's first move was to get rid of artificial coloring, that's a great move. Seriously. That's a great move. So there's going to be a lot of foods that they're going to have to change them. And they're going to give them 2 years, but they say they're going to get rid of red dye number 40 immediately, as fast as possible. They're not going to get the 2 years to get rid of that. They're not going to give them. They're not going to give them 2 years to get rid of that. They're not going to do that. They want the red dye number 40 out of here immediately, ASAP. I think it's the one that's really causing the most cancers and things like that. Now, I had to take some notes because there was a lot going on. A lot. And they're saying that these artificial colors cause increased hyperactivity. And they're saying that a lot of parents have actually witnessed this and have taken their children off of these snacks and this food that has the artificial coloring. And they said their hyperactivity went down. Some said they went back and gave it to them later and it went back up, so they know for sure. And this has been a problem for sure because in some schools across America, they have banned flaming chips and flaming Cheetos, flaming hots. They have banned it because the teachers have noticed that when the children eat the flaming hot snacks, they be bouncing off the walls. They won't sit still and listen. They lose their memory. They can't remember stuff. And they fight a lot. They fight and tussle. So they banned it. Now they had one, I forgot what it was called, would start with a T. And children were having to go to the hospital for eating that. I'm not sure if that's even around. Takis. Takis. Children have had to go to the hospital over eating Takis. For real. I haven't seen those in the store. But it had caused some serious problems. And children had to go to the hospital over consuming Takis, which is unbelievable. Okay. I think as a parent, I never gave my children the flaming hot stuff. So, uh, me being a plant-based vegan has gave me some common sense because I have never would have ever thought to give that to a child. That is obviously too hot, and I don't see anybody with any sense giving that to a child. I remember the young black girl. I mean, she was in pretty bad shape, overeating those Takis. So when a lot of children started having problems eating those Takis, they uh, they banned them, and they banned a lot of the flaming Cheetos, flaming hots. They banned them in a lot of places. They said, "Oh no, we can't do this. It's giving us too much problems." Y'all remember this little girl? The children had to go to the hospital over them things. Yeah, children had to be hospitalized over eating that stuff. And so the idea of petroleum being used for color, I don't. Petroleum don't sound like it's nothing you would eat to me. Petroleum-based food dyes. That just sounds. I think of petroleum for cars. You know, you always hear about petroleum jelly, but I don't know about eating that. That doesn't sound healthy. So yesterday, yay, it was banned. And they have been feeding this to Americans for over 50 years. I'm 67. I talk about this all the time that when I was born in 1958, and by the time I got old enough to really go to the candy store and stuff like that, you know, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. It's like 1960s, the late 60s. And all the candy and stuff was natural. As a matter of fact, they had some things called wine candies. Y'all call them Jolly Ranchers now, but the original candies shaped like that were called wine candies. And parents would not let the children get the red ones or the purple ones because they would make you get a little tipsy if you ate too many of them because it was really made with real fruit and it was a little fermented. So it was really wine candies. And, I used to get Hostess apple pies. And when you would get the apple pie, it would be a small apple pie in a bag. And when you used to buy it, there was apples in there. Very little gel, just the gel from the apples, what they took to make the apples. But by the time I had my children, there was no apples in there. They had the cherry pies also. And you could tell it was cherries because cherries are not really bright red. Cherries are this dark, dark red. So when you would bite into the cherry pie, it was dark red in there. Later, it was this bright red jelly looking stuff, which that's artificial coloring because the colors, they never make the colors. Uh, it's just horrible. I've always been complaining about this. I've always been complaining about this because it's very disrespectful the way artificial colors or even marketed is just very disrespectful to me. I think it's very, very disrespectful because it's marketed in a way where it just makes a fool out of the people. It's just a money grab, you know? Because here's an apple. Now, if you juice that apple, that juice is going to be the color of the inside of that apple. But these marketers that sell us this stuff, first off, this is not the same green, okay? So they just take any type of coloring, make it green like the outside of the apple. But if you had a drink from the apple, it wouldn't be green, and the outside of the apple is not this color green. It's just blatant disrespect. It's like, oh, people are just some fools. Just make it green and call it apple. The same thing they do with the grape drinks and sodas. I don't know where we got to the point where money was more important than the children. It's one thing for an adult want to go and drink Bacardi or drink vodka, but the children are helpless. So these are grapes. But this evil market of people that sell these products, they just really played Americans and people around the planet like fools because when they sell you a grape soda, it don't be that color, okay? They just use any color purple and just say this is great. This is grape flavored. It doesn't taste like grape. It's not the right color as grape. But they make everything look real cartoonish so that the children will consume it. They basically sold their souls for $1 to sell the youth just any old thing. It should have been illegal, you know, because you look at those grapes and look at this. Come on, man. Look at the grapes on the can. Look at this. Look at these grapes. And look at the grapes on that can. That's a total disgrace. And so I was really happy to see that yesterday. Because they're saying that this stuff, this petroleum-based dyes, have like a lot of health issues. Attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, obesity, diabetes, cancer, GI issues, allergic reactions, and others. And it's so bad that they saying that the artificial colors like mess with the children's brains to make the children like have like some type of brain connection to these processed foods. So they say that children will still want to eat it, even if they're full, they're not hungry. That's why it's causing obesity and the diabetes, because you'll just keep eating it. They've done experimentation with rats, And they found out which color will the rats be fiending over, which smell, which artificial flavor, which artificial coloring, just to make some money. So they saying when these children, these artificial colors does something to their brain and it make them just keep eating even if they're not hungry. I thought that was just crazy. I had to write this stuff down because it was just a list of problems. It was a list of problems because they're saying that these food colors are directly associated with obesity and diabetes to the point where 41% of children in the U.S. has at least one health condition. 41%. There's so many children that can't do for themselves. They have to go to special education. Some of them is really bad. And that's the food. That's definitely the food. When I was growing up, the couple of children and even raising kids, one thing I noticed is that a lot of the children that have like these learning disabilities or have a little bit of retardation, they be overweight. They be overweight. It's like the mother was eating that stuff while she was pregnant. You know, you eating that stuff while you're pregnant, and that's all the baby got. The baby got to eat what you put in there, and you eating all this garbage. You overweight, and the baby don't got no say so in it. And then the mommies has these urges where they want to eat weird stuff. And you know, I'm gonna have to do a whole live stream on that, just letting the men know, hey, when your sweetie pie get pregnant and she want an orange crush and a candy bar and some other weird stuff that don't go together, don't go get that stuff. Don't go get that stuff. You know, like I've been a vegan for 47 years, but I was in a relationship, and when I met the queen, she wasn't no vegan. So I never really tried to push no issues on her. I just ate the way I ate, and she ate the way she ate. And she got pregnant with my last child, my daughter. And I remember there was like a super Kmart that was way far out in the south suburbs. And we lived in O Block. And I remember one night she said she wanted something. It was crazy. Like a pickle and an orange soda. And me being a good king for her, I drove and went and got it for her and got her a robe and stuff like that while I was out there. But when I think back, that could have damaged my child. I really wasn't thinking about that like that. You know, it never really crossed my mind that the baby got to eat this. You know, after watching that presentation yesterday, if that happened, I'd be like, nah, you can't have that. Now while you pregnant, I don't know what you're gonna have, but you're gonna have to eat some healthy stuff. You pregnant. And so 41% of children in the US have at least one health condition. It's no telling how many of them is slow and got to go to special schools and stuff like that. There's no telling. And it's probably not just the food because the whole environment is toxic. So just think about that. It's toxic, 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 toxic. And if your children are around a bunch of toxic stuff, and then they're not eating a bunch of fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices to help clean, then it's toxins on top of toxins. There's toxins in their life, and then instead of eating healthy stuff to try to go in there and clean them out, it's just trash and then trash. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that being plant-based, the food makes you healthier, but the food also stops you from being unhealthy because the food also runs out the bad stuff. So the food puts in good stuff and runs out bad stuff. And it does it automatically because the planet was set up to clean itself. And it was set up to clean us. It's like you have a dog, and everybody see when the dog start going in the yard eating grass, it's because he's sick. He knows just what to go eat. Now, he might not supposed to be eating grass, but that's all that's there. It's probably some other bush he would chew on if he had a natural life. But you don't have nothing but grass. You don't have anything healthy growing around your house. And so 41% of children in the U.S. has at least one health condition. 1 out of 5 are on medication. Children. And cancer and diabetes is going up in young people at an alarming rate. Cancer and diabetes. The danger with the parents being chubby means the parents don't have any self-control. So if the parents are round and chubby, and the children are there, the parents are obviously snacking and eating food that's making them chubby. Now the parents are getting like that early, and in some cases, the parents wasn't chubby when they was that age of their children. They got like that as sloppy adults. But now they cursing their babies by feeding their baby stuff that they start eating on their own when they got older. And this is how each generation is getting worse and worse. Because as you grow up, you start eating worse and worse and worse, and then you feeding your family worse and worse and worse. The children are stuck. So if we don't turn this around, shoot, by next year it'll be 2 and 5, then 3 and 5. Children on medication. So they want to have these dyes gone by the end of next year. And they want to get red dye number 3 out of here immediately. So they want to get all petroleum-based dyes removed from U.S. food supply. So they're going to end up doing the flavors and the colors. All this stuff going to be gone. Because we have and I didn't know this, we have a child chronic disease epidemic. This is what the doctor said. And this guy is no slouch. He's really one of the top doctors in the country. He said that we have a child chronic disease epidemic. I did not know that. I'm going to have to do a whole live just on that. I'm going to have to do some research because I did not know that. I did not know that. Did you all know that? I didn't know. Let me see if I can see something on it right now. I had no idea. Sad. That's why it's good to watch things like that, because you can be surprised what you can learn from watching things. Now look at this. The prevalence of chronic health conditions in children is on the rise, with studies suggesting that around 30% of children now have chronic conditions. Wait a minute. That's way more than 1 out of 5. That's 3 out of 9. 30% of children now have chronic conditions. This increase is driven by conditions like asthma, obesity, mental health issues, and neurodevelopmental disorders. The rise in chronic conditions among children is a significant public health concern with potential long-term implications for their health and well-being. The number of children diagnosed with chronic conditions has increased significantly in recent years, with estimates suggesting that nearly 1 in 3 young children are now living with a chronic condition. Asthma, obesity, mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, and neurodevelopmental disorders like ADHD and ADD and autism are major contributors to the rise in chronic conditions among children. Socioeconomic vulnerability, such as lower income, less education, and reliance on public insurance, is associated with a higher prevalence of chronic conditions among youth. Chronic conditions in childhood can have long-term impacts on health and well-being, potentially leading to persistent health issues as disabilities in adulthood. So they said, being like that young and have long-term, and you'll just have persistent health issues and disabilities when you become adult. Addressing the rise in chronic conditions in children requires a multifaceted approach, including early detection, effective prevention strategies, and accessible health care. See, this is ridiculous to me. This is a disgrace. I ain't gonna lie. It's a total disgrace. I'm telling you, Will didn't know none of this stuff. I got a lot of friends with children with all kind of problems, and now I'm seeing it's from all these chemicals around us. They're everywhere. It's from the medicine, because anybody that will put this in food, guess what's in your medicine? Because they're saying that they put in these things in the medicine. It says petroleum-based food dyes from U.S. food supply and medications. So they're removing this stuff from the food and out of the medicine. And I did not know that petroleum-based food dyes was in the medicine. This makes no sense. So imagine if I got a daughter, she's got some type of problem. The environment is all toxic. She could have got the problem from something toxic she consumed, and then the medicine is toxic. The medicine got petroleum-based dyes, and I don't think petroleum don't sound like no medicine. Like that doesn't sound. I can't see petroleum healing anything. This is just ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you, this is absolutely ridiculous. So I listened to it yesterday, and all I could do was shake my head. I was happy though, but they saying they got to get all this out of here. You know, recently I did a live over here where I talked about they tried to change the name of these dyes. They gave them a new name to try to keep using them because nobody wanted to buy red number 40 or red number 3. Nobody wanted to buy that. So they went. I tell you, man, these people, man, you know, I can't believe these people don't be going to jail, to be honest with you. So they went and tried to change the name of the food dyes so that they would be able to still try to sell it. Once they realized that people didn't want it, which is just sounds absolutely, it sounds criminal. Yeah, it sounds criminal. Why would you change the name? Somebody told me something like I'm not understanding. Why would you change the name? I'm telling you, man, this is why you have to take your health into your own hands. Because if you don't, you ain't got a chance. You don't have a chance. If you don't take your health into your own hands, you don't got a chance. Because these people, they don't really care like that. But at least somebody's trying to do something. And I think that's a great thing. Um, to make that change. I was very excited to hear that because I was getting frustrated because they're changing it everywhere. And I'm like, when are they going to change it and get rid of this stuff in our food? You know? When are they going to just get this stuff out of our food? When? Well, instead of them trying to get this out the food, they go and try to rename it. So blue number 1 now is brilliant blue. Is evil. Blue number 2 is indigo teen. Green number 3 is fast green. Red number 3 is erythromycin. Red number 40 is allura red. Crazy. Yellow number 5 is tartrazine. And yellow number 6 is sunset yellow. You know how evil you got to be to do that? You know that people don't want it anymore. They're reading, looking for it. And what do? You go change the name. Make that make any type of sense. Make that make some sense. Like, make that make any type of sense. They'll do anything for $1, and that's the sad thing. They'll do anything for $1. Petroleum-based food dyes, also known as synthetic food dyes, are artificial colors derived from petroleum and used to enhance the appearance of food products. Straight trash. And what happens? Attention deficit. They can't pay no attention. And hyperactivity disorder. So imagine can't pay attention and you're hyper. This is a common mental disorder that can affect children and adults, characterized by inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. So they're just impulsive. You can't really teach nobody like that. And I just don't know why we don't stand up to this, because these things is killing us. Check it out.
All artificial food dyes have safety issues, but we need to talk about FD&C Red number 40 because you'll see it in everything. It's a known hormone disruptor and makes kids hyperactive. There really aren't a lot of studies out there, though, about safety on any artificial colors, and so I have concerns about that, considering the fact that in a recent study they counted all the food items in a typical grocery store that were marketed to children, anything edible, even toothpaste. 810 items, and 43% contained artificial colors, 30% had red number 40, 96% of candies had dye in them, 78% had red number 40. So a kid could conceivably get a dose of artificial coloring in every meal and snack every day, and then brush his teeth with it before bed. The daily exposure is massive. So to those who say, show me the evidence that they're harmful, I say, you show me the evidence they're not harmful. How are these things any different than drugs that require safety testing? Look at the structure of red number 40 next to human hormones. These hormones are powerful biochemical forces. Most anybody could look at the structure of red number 40 and say, why wouldn't that be capable of some biochemistry action somewhere? And if it could, it should be tested to make sure that activity is not something completely unexpected. And that's my big beef with food dyes. We dose ourselves with them every day like a drug, so they ought to be tested like one. Stay connected and we'll get smart and swap out some bad stuff for good stuff.
Yeah, they don't test it. They just put it out there. They just put it out there. They don't test it. Tell me that's not absolutely crazy. How do you just give people petroleum to eat without testing? A lot of this is extremely criminal. I don't eat that kind of stuff to far right. I don't eat any of that stuff. Everything I eat is natural. I haven't ate any Babylon food in 47 years. The only time I ate bad was when I was in the county jail for 4 months. I didn't eat no meat, but I ate everything else until I got out of there. I was a POW. But as soon as I got out, I didn't eat it because I don't like it. I'm not forcing myself not to eat it. I don't eat it. The key to taking care of yourself is actually really believing it's no good for you. If you don't really, really believe that, then you'll eat it. You always eat it just like losing weight. You will not get rid of that stomach and all that chubby cheeks and all that because you think it's all right. And one reason is because everybody walking around sick don't tell you. Everybody trying to act like they're all right. But some of these Walgreens making $1 million a week easily. You go to Walgreens, you go in the back and see all the pills in the white bag uh, at the over the counter. The behind the counter medicine where you got to go and get it from the pharmacy up in there. Well, they're not really a pharmacy, but I guess kind of. You have to go there and get your medicine, and it's just bags everywhere. That's the only money Walgreens really making. They're not making no money in the front. They're making all their money in the back. They're closing Walgreens everywhere, but I tell you what they're going to do. They're going to build drive-through, and all they're going to have is medicine. You remember I told you first. All the front part of Walgreens is going to be nothing. There's going to be an all-new Walgreens, and it's only going to be medicine. Drive-through, come get your medicine, or walk up and get your medicine. Because that's where they're making all their money at anyway. So we're on a new beginning, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing. We're in a whole new beginning, and they're going to finally get rid of that stuff. And finally, my grandchildren, will be able to not eat all this trash that's destroying their little bodies. If you're a parent and you're not really reading what you feeding your children like that, I don't know how you could call yourself a really good parent. Especially in 2025, when there's just abundance of information. At one time, wasn't the information wasn't necessarily available, but now the information is really, really, really available, and it's really time to make some changes. Now this is another channel. I didn't change my channel name. This is a different channel. CRU. Yeah, this is a different channel. I still got my other channel. This is my plant-based channel. Yeah. Yeah, he says what's messed up is they use Jen's block say what's messed up is they use the bright coloring to attract children while shopping. Exactly. And they attract the children and the parents. Because one way they can make so much money, if they can get you addicted to it, right? If they can get you addicted to it, right, in your childhood, boom, next thing you know, you're a parent. Now, if you're a parent, you're going to still be eating this stuff. Especially if you start having babies in your 20s. You might not really change how you ate as a teenager until you probably get almost 35. Most of us in our 20s, we eat the same way we ate in high school. We don't really change. We got money, we get a job so we could buy more, but we still eat the same basic way. So if they got me trained eating bad through grade school and high school, right? And then I have a child. My child say, what snacks you want? They're going to get their snacks. I'm going to get my snacks. Mama going to get us snacks. All of it's trash. So the whole family is just eating abominations. Right? The whole family is just eating abominations. You think it's do the same with vapes, casinos, bright lights, and video games? I mean, I don't know what you mean by the same, but I mean, everything is, there's nothing wrong with designing something to be attractive. Yeah, because as a grown adult, you're going to eat the same thing. It's like you don't, it's not really considered grown up food, it's just food. Every now and then, I still eat cereal. I just eat natural cereal. You know what I'm saying? I still eat cereal every now and then. I think cereal and milk is good for you because I think it helps clean you out sometimes when you've been eating a whole bunch of stuffy stuff. Now you get more liquid. You got the milk, you got the cereal. It's going to run through. So I think cereal with some really healthy milk and some really healthy cereal, I think is good for you. So you're not eating stuffy all the time. You're eating something got more moisture to it that's going to digest and clean your colon out. Cereal going to clean your colon out for sure. But what is the cereal? Is it healthy cereal or not? And that's the problem. There's no need for them to put all that stuff in there that they be putting in there. You know, it ain't no need for that. But I mean, they just straight up wiping people out. To be honest with you, to me, with this food they selling, I feel like they basically wiping people out because that stuff don't even look like it should be consumed. This way, your parent and common sense come in. Can't nobody eat this stuff. This don't even look, man. But the way they can sell it, because adults barbecue, right? Adults put ketchup on their stuff. Adults put barbecue sauce on their stuff. So you see the red, you're thinking, I eat barbecue sauce and stuff anyway. But no, this is not that. There is no way your teenager can eat this and not end up with an ulcer. This is going to definitely burn a hole. Listen, put your tongue and feel the inside of your jaw. Okay, your intestines is made out of this kind of stuff. Your intestines not made out of this type of skin. Now imagine flaming hot and stuff laying in your intestines, burning that skin back to back. Just think about it, because in your mouth you get to swallow it. You get to drink stuff to rinse your mouth. You got your soda or whatever. But in your stomach, once it gets in the line of your stomach and your colon, it's just got to sit there, that burning hot stuff. There's no way that this won't create polyps. The reason they use bright colors is to give it the appeal of fruit. Okay? The same reason they slice up your meat so that you can eat it like you eat fruit. That's why your meat is cut up like that. Because that meat got to be butchered to be like that. Because you can't eat no whole cow thigh. And it comes as the whole thigh. You can eat a banana. You don't have to eat the whole bush of bananas. A banana's up to pick one. You can eat orange. You don't have to eat the whole tree. But there's no small meat like that. Not even a chicken. You don't have the natural ability to take the feathers off of there with your mouth. You don't have that. So that's what the problem is. You don't have the ability to to really deal with that correctly. So they use those colors They're trying to emulate this. That's what they're doing, CRU. I mean, CRU, for me, peppers, for me, peppers is something that you should only eat every now and then. Peppers is obviously, you shouldn't, because I got a bunch of friends from Africa. They do not eat peppers every day. They eat peppers when it goes with the meal. You have certain meals that peppers go with, but peppers every day, uh-uh, that's not going to be good for your stomach. When the older black people ate black pepper, they eat too much black pepper. Sometimes the black pepper get in there and make a small rock. Now you got gallstones, you got kidney stones from eating too much black pepper, and it start to ball up together and then make a little pepper rock. Now you're in a lot of pain trying to pass this rock. Yeah, no, keep on. You be at the hospital. You can't eat that like that. That's supposed to be food is designed. Food is not designed to eat the same thing. That's why when you look at an orange tree, a drop oranges, and then that's it. No more oranges until the next orange tree comes. Because you're not supposed to eat oranges every day for a year. You're not supposed to eat anything like that. You're supposed to eat food the way food is given to you. And food is not given to you every day the same food. This harvest, this time, this is that, this is that. This lasts longer, this goes bad. So when I go to the grocery store, CRU, and I shop, I got food I got to eat up tonight. It ain't going to really be that good tomorrow. And then I got food that'll last, and I got food that won't last. And I have to eat it in that order. So that food that goes bad quick, I wouldn't be able to eat that every day because it goes bad quick. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Variety is the spice of life. If you want to be healthy, you have to eat variety. Jasmine rice this time. Next time I have rice maybe basmati because everything has a different benefit. And you want to change it up. So I use cayenne pepper sometimes black pepper, sometimes thyme, and I change up my spices too. I don't use the same spices every day. Yeah, CRU, yeah, hot stuff. Everybody I know that like hot food got ulcers. Every one of them. Every person I know that ate hot stuff a lot got ulcers. The ones that like all the hot stuff, they burn a hole in your stomach. Because in nature, you wouldn't be able to eat that like that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't eat that like that. If you lived in nature, you would not eat like that. And when you live in nature, you eat totally different. When I lived in Hawaii in nature, you eat different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, CRU, it's are you able to project your mind to when you get sick? Or do you have to wait till it happens? It's real simple. Are you able to project your mind to when you get sick? Or do you have to wait till you get sick? Because you already know it's gonna make you sick. So you're just gonna keep doing it until it happens, and this happens all the time. You know, people keep eating the same stuff. They know it's no good, but they keep doing it. 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 And then the next thing you know,
Now I'm coming to you live right now because I've been trying to shoot a documentary up here at my dialysis clinic to try to educate people how many people kidneys gone, how many people in a situation because they don't know how to eat right. Like me, I grew up a daddy's boy. I ate what I wanted to eat as a kid, man, and now I'm paying for it. So all you people who let your kids eat what they want, that candy and sweets and all that, they gonna pay for that one day. See, when you young, your body can take it. But you gonna pay for that one. I promise you on everything. All that drink you drink. And people about what I used to do, you know what I mean? They see me doing shit and they bring shit up, they talking. He losing weight. For all my loved ones, I'm doing what this doctor tell me. My bro died today because he didn't want to do what them folks said, man. Go to the doctor, man, do what them folks tell you. I don't care how much you done been taught the doctor try to kill you. You killing yourself by what you eat, man. I got kidney failure now, and I must say, I'm with a dietitian 3 days a week. My blood getting took 2 days a week, and I got people talking down about I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Look at my damn arm. Is that regular to you? Look at that shit. I don't know if you can see it. Look at this. I'm showing y'all today. I ain't never opened up like this, but I lost my partner, so I'm showing y'all. I'm finna go in here and get 2 needles about 2 inches long, a piece, at the same time. If I don't do it, I'll be dead in a week. My homeboy had many close calls for the doctor, but he told me every time, the good man seen me through, B. He said, it ain't my time. Well, it was your time today, brother. And it touched me so bad, I'm finna be late talking now. It touched me so bad because you get so personal and you talk to people who keep surviving the close calls. Surviving close calls. But didn't want to follow through with everything. Thinking the white man trying to kill him. Man, you kill yourself, bro. Now I'm finna go in here. I don't know what I'm risking finna show y'all this. But I'm finna show my people what they don't want y'all to see.
And this happens time and time again. And you try to tell people, you try to warn them, but life just have you so busy, and it's kind of hard to, see that you're going to have a problem, you know? So it's not really easy to see that. You have to really like put thought in it, just like anything else in life. So you got to kind of put thought into it, like, you know what? Do I want to, do I want to live? You really have to think about living like you think about everything else. And that's really what the problem is at. That's where the problem is at, because people don't think about living. They think about, man, where I'm going to go this evening, man, what I'm going to do this weekend. Man, I need to go holler at some women. So you kind of pick what you think about. Man, I want to get a new car. I want to get a new car. This is where everybody's priorities be at. But you don't be thinking, it's like, man, I don't be wanting to get sick. I can't be getting sick. I can't be getting sick. You know, you don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you make a mistake at. You know? That's where you make your mistake.
So a lot of you guys have been asking what dialysis is like. Well, long story short, it fucking blows. It's not fun at all. It's it's so draining. Like it's one of those things that no matter how much explaining I do, you'll never really truly understand what it's like until you've done it. And I do not wish that upon anybody because it sucks. Um, but I mean, you're hooked up to a machine, an artificial kidney that is filtering your blood for like 3 or 4 hours, right? So you can probably imagine that's not fun exactly. If you've ever given blood or know someone who's given blood and they've explained it to you a little bit, it's kind of like that times like 1,000. Because the idea is like, sure, they're taking blood, but they're filtering it through the artificial kidney and then returning it to you, right? And it has to do all the blood in your whole system, and that takes a long time. So that's why you usually have to run like 3 or 4 hours, right? And it's so draining. It's first of all, it also takes a lot of water weight off of you. That's like one of the main things it does, right? You go in at a certain weight, and then they try to get you to what's called your dry weight. So like when I went in today, I was 66.5 kilograms, and my dry weight is 63.5 kilograms. So that's 3 kilograms, which is about like 6 or so pounds, a little more than 6 pounds. So across that 4 hours, I'm losing 6 pounds of water weight. That's what it is. It's like liquid weight. It's excess fluid that is like on my body because my kidneys are not doing their job, right? So that's like one of the main things that dialysis does. And you can imagine like losing 6, 7, 8 pounds in like 3, 4 hours. Like that's a lot, right? And it makes you feel lighter, but like almost more hollow. Like that's a good way to just explain how you feel afterwards. You feel like you've literally just been drained, like a vampire has just like sucked half of your blood out. And it kind of has, it just like gave it back, right? But you literally feel so drained and like kind of hollowed out. It's like good might not be the right word for it, but it's better than the like, I don't know, just like overbearing feeling of just like having a lot of excess fluid on you and just like being chunky. Because like I'll try to show a video, but like right now I just got off of dialysis, right? Like I'm looking pretty like, I don't know, like slim, I guess. And I'm a skinny person, but I'll try to show on Sunday like that because that's the longest stretch I go without dialysis. On Sunday, I'm like more chunky. You can see it in my face, in my wrist. Like right here, I can easily do that. I got a lot of wiggle room to like move my watch and everything, stuff like that. This is my dog, Tally. Say hi. But on Sunday, when I'm all chunked up, like it's probably very minimal to the eye, but feeling wise, I feel majorly just like heavy. So the opposite side of that, after dialysis, you feel really light, but again, it's sort of like a hollow light. Like you feel like you've been hollowed out. And that's like, it's so tiring. All that liquid and fluid being taken off can make you way more susceptible to cramps. And if you sneeze while like super dry after a bunch of fluid has been taken off of you, at least in my experience, sneezing, man, that can like lock up my abs and my stomach and like, oh my gosh, that's one of the worst pains like from dialysis and everything. It feels like my insides are being like wringed out. But like I said, long story short, dialysis is not fun. It's very tiring. It's very just draining. But weirdly, I always, even though like physically I'm like drained, mentally I'm like pumped because I'm just like, I'm like renewed, rejuvenated in a sense of like, okay, I'm good. Like they just reset me. Like I now don't have to worry about dialysis for as long as until I have my next dialysis, right? So that's like a nice feeling. But yeah, dialysis, it sucks.
So I try to warn people. That's why I get these videos. I'm using it for informational purposes. Thanks to all the people that's suffering and struggling with dialysis that, I get this information from to try to help you all, try to scare you into taking care of yourself because it's really bad. And this move that the government made to ban these petroleum based flavoring and coloring is beautiful. It really is. You know, get rid of the petroleum based food dyes. Please get rid of it. Y'all hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Contribute to the channel. Your contributions would be much appreciated as we discuss this crazy, crazy situation. And so many people are struggling with it that you wouldn't believe it. So you have to get out. You have to exercise. You have to work out. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take your health like extremely serious, okay? And then even then, you can still be in accidents and things like that. So I mean, it's a never-ending job. You're trying to be healthy. You're trying to be safe. You have to look out for your safety concerns. You actually have to try to stay alive. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. You have to put energy into staying alive. You can't just stay alive. You cannot just stay alive. Nobody tells you that. You have to try to stay alive. And they don't teach you that. Just like you have to try to play basketball, you have to try to play football, you have to try to talk to a dude or talk to a female. You have to try to get in a relationship. You have to try everything. And you have to actually try to stay alive. Don't wait like these people, right? And now they're trying to stay alive. All right? Exhibit A.
I've been diagnosed with kidney failure, so it's been pretty tough for the last 3 months. They not able to work. Got me on dialysis. Got me on restriction on how much water to drink. It's been tough. But I'm keeping my faith. I'm out here walking right now this morning, trying to get this weight off of me, keep my spirit going. Got dialysis tomorrow. Just trying to keep my faith, and I just want to give everybody an update on my health. And I just want to let everybody know, do not ignore the signs. If your body's telling you something, go see your doctor. I went too long, I ignored the signs. Now I'm paying for it. But God is good. He's going to restore my health. I'm working on it with him. He got me believing in myself. I'm just to change everything around, reverse this cycle, get this high blood pressure, this diabetes off of me, this weight. I'm already down like 30 pounds in the last 3 months of this dialysis and eating right and change your life. It's a new journey.
Exactly. And it's like when you go through dialysis, your kidney is gone. The list to get a kidney sometimes is 8 years, 6 to 8 years. They got to find a match. Then the match has got to take. And it's not a joke. I'm 67. I'll be 68 in February. I have to work to make it to 68. That's not just given to me. I still go to the gym. I still work out. I still lift weights. I make sure I drink water. I buy vitamins. I spend serious money on vitamins every now and then. I buy some vitamins. I just want to make sure. I don't want to be short on vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin A, nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got that, it's when you lose that. That's when you see you can't do nothing else. You know how you might love your husband or love your wife? Well, you ain't got no husband or no wife if you don't take care of yourself. Shout out to my brother Posy. So if you don't take care of yourself, you don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, you don't have any children. Imagine the people that have been unalived or passed away when their children were still children. It's one thing when it's a bad accident or somebody unalived you, but it's another thing when you basically killed yourself because you was drinking, you was using drugs, you was eating a bunch of trash and garbage, you never took it serious, and you just eating trash, you just eating garbage. You know what I'm saying? Cucumber juice and water cleanse the kidneys, but the main thing is if you stop dirtying them up, then you can clean them. You know, Arctic. I have people ask me all the time. They say, uh, "Well, how could I take a cleanse?" And I be wanting to know, well, what you taking a cleanse for? Are you taking a cleanse to get back dirty, or what are we doing? And so, yeah, it's good to cleanse, but when you cleanse, you should be cleansing to eat cleaner. Like after you decide you're going to cleanse, I don't know how you could go back and eat the same thing because, as far as I would be concerned, if I had a bunch of stuff in my colon and a bunch of stuff no good in my intestines and I went and cleansed, I would be preventing myself from probably having colon cancer or something like that. So why would I go and put that same type of stuff back in there, which to me, you would probably live better longer. I mean, you're not going to, you're still going to have some, but you would probably do better staying dirty than dirty, clean, dirty, clean, dirty, clean. I believe that'll just, your body would, I think if your colon is just dirty, it's in there fighting or whatever, if you clean it out, it's like, whew. Then if you keep it clean, it's like rejuvenate. But if your colon's dirty and you got polyps and stuff, and you clean it out, then you go dump fresh poison back on top of those polyps. So the back and forth is probably worse than just eating gut, just staying like you are. I don't believe the back and forth. I believe that's the most unhealthiest. I think people that eat trash all the time, they're not that healthy. But the ones that try to don't and go back and don't, they probably shot because they sending their body in the shock and they just making it worse. The body's like, oh, what am I doing? What are you doing? Just shaking your body up like that. But it's a matter of priorities, and they play on your taste buds. So your taste buds are shot. And so it's going to take you a while before you get some decent taste buds. So you want to eat what your mouth like. You don't care if your stomach don't like it, if your heart don't like it, if your kidneys and bladder and colon don't like it. All you wanted to do is please your mouth. And you sell out other parts in your body for your mouth. And your mouth has been tricked because it really don't taste good. You've been like trained to think it tastes good. Like the food y'all eat, it tastes horrible. That salt you use that's not salt. It is, but not really. Table salt is salt, but it it ain't like if you get like some Celtic salt or something, you'll taste the difference. You'll be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like night and day. So it takes time to clean out your taste buds and your body, and then are you strong enough? Because the society has been eating so bad, all of your social activities is negative. So where you gonna go? What are you gonna do? I got some friends. I got some friends. I don't want to say who they are, but we got together. There's three of us, three dudes, and we hadn't been around each other. I only been around one of them, and the other one, those two finally linked up, and they wanted me to come. So we got together. They wanted to go out to dinner. I said, okay, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory because they eat regular and I'm plant-based vegan. I said, if I go to the Cheesecake Factory, they can eat, I can eat. Cool. They said, let's do it again. Cool. So after about a month or so, 6 weeks, we went to Benihana. Same thing. I can eat, they can eat. Then the last time I went to Benihana, the one brother that I haven't seen in a while, he said, next time we're going to the steakhouse. So sure enough, the other day, the other one I've been around called me and said the other one wants to go to the steakhouse. I said, okay, cool. As soon as I get up the phone, I go look at the steakhouse to see what they got to eat. Well, of course, they have nothing for me to eat, which just shows you why you don't take care of yourself, because they don't even know that I can't eat there. So you know how messed up your mind is when you invited me somewhere and you have no clue that I can't eat there. This is how bad you eat. That you can't, you don't, you know, you're like slow. So I go look at the chop house. I see lobster, I see steak, I see shrimp. I just shake my head. I didn't say anything. They gonna call. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. They say they're gonna be like, we're gonna go Saturday or something. I'll be like, cool. What time? They're gonna be like 5. And about 4 o'clock that day, I'm gonna call, hey, something came up. Because I shouldn't have to tell them, y'all foul for inviting me for dinner and not making sure, you know what I'm saying? Y'all foul. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? So your whole social activity is different. You know what I mean? So we not doing no more dinners and stuff. The last one was the last one. And so a lot of people, you're not ready to change your social activities that would be necessary for you to live. The one, he's younger than me that I know all the time. The other one's my age, constantly in the hospital. He won't go to steakhouse. Can barely walk. Then I had 2 surgeries since the first time we got together. He won't go to steakhouse. And the cemetery. He can't wait to get in there. So whatever. Good luck. Now, if we had more people would change, if you all would change, it would make better for all of us. But a lot of you won't. You're actually, in a weird way, you're actually making people sick because you're contributing to just buying anything these people sell us. You ain't applying no pressure for them to sell us anything good. They can just sell us whatever. You're going to drink, you just go in there and drink whatever soda they give you. I'll be like, man, why don't y'all get something decent here to drink? You ain't got no 100% juice up in here. You know, what if I don't want no, you know what I mean? What if I don't want this stuff? Like what, but we not forcing these restaurants and stuff to do better. It don't cause no awkwardness because I just don't hang around them. I don't want to be around no people and then in a casket by myself. It's just a decision. I've been plant based now for 47 years since 1978. I just don't go around. I'm fine with it. You don't really have anything to offer. If you're not don't know how to eat right, to me, you don't have anything. You don't have the knowledge for me to want to socialize with you. I mean, I ain't trying to be rude or nothing, but you don't even know how to take care of yourself. Most likely your conversation is going to be primitive. You just ain't got it. White people is in an economical situation where they could avoid just thinking about stupid stuff because they already got businesses set up and they got to take over daddy's business, and that kind of forces them to have to concentrate on that somewhat. But black people, you ain't in no high business position in this country or nothing like that. So going around you when you don't eat, you ain't on nothing really. Not really. Socializing with you is the worst because you haven't developed your own unique way to socialize. You might as well still be in Alabama, Mississippi picking cotton. With all due respect. I mean, when I went to dinner with them twice, I just didn't say nothing. They not talk about nothing. They ain't know nothing. That stuff make you really like a robot, like seriously. So then you don't create a new world. So it's just the same world. I could be sitting around my grandma and my granddaddy. I think my granddaddy and them had more better conversations because they lived on the farm. But my daddy and them generation, on down and now, is the same people. All you young people is the same as my daddy and mama and them. You say it's just the same stuff. So I'm not really missing nothing. Ain't nobody talking about let's start no business or nothing. Yeah. So where you been, man? I've been to Dominica, man. I've been to. Be like, well, so every time they want to talk about where they been, because that's why you travel so you can brag about it. But you don't take care of yourself, so it's a little. I don't know. It's close to like animals, like cows and stuff like that, just grazing and eating. And besides the eating, there's nothing there. Yeah, the toxic food, especially for Black Americans, we already under oppressed type situation. So then if you're not eating right, there's going to be no stimulant to the brain. There's going to be no blood flow. You talking about, man, that was good. That was good. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to eat, you're ready to go home and go to bed. you know. They invited me to the steakhouse, man. I said, man, 2 times I made sure everybody could get some great food. When the other guy planned, he actually trying to take me somewhere. And I'm being nice because I'm older now. I'm kind of tempted to say something like, listen, man, why y'all trying to invite me somewhere without really finding out if it's something that could accommodate me? But over the years, I learned how to just let dead dogs lie. I'm just not going to say nothing, and it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to play it off. And now the last dinner was the last dinner. Good to see you, Kathy. Basically, I'm going to play it off. I ain't going to say nothing. I'll play it off. And if they try to invite me from here on out, I'll be like, oh no, I ain't gonna be here. No, this or that. Oh no, man, the moon's supposed to be falling that day. Oh no, man, it's a scorpion in the attic. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be we're not doing that no more. For what? If you don't have enough decency to try to make sure I got something to eat, what I want to talk to you for? You got no concern for me. You just want me to come into your environment. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no concern for me. Come on, man. Somebody go with you twice, you know they're a vegan, and you don't try to go and plan something that's going to be inclusive to them. You're going to drag them to like a steakhouse where there's nothing to eat. Man, I don't do all that. Because I had the dreadlocks too, Arctic. So I had the dreadlocks and vegan. This is way back 79, 78, 79. Black Americans, nobody had no dreadlocks. So I only just got around my other people with dreadlocks, other vegetarians at the time we called ourselves vegetarian. That was it. I didn't go around regular people. I ain't go around nobody. Well, I ain't comfortable. Y'all staring at my plate. So you don't eat no meat? Bro, can I just eat my food? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit next to you and be like, so you always eat chicken? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say anything about your food. But it's like for me, you know what I'm saying? You all in my plate and stuff. I thought we was going out to eat. I didn't know this was Perry Mason or I'm on trial, huh? Well, I plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really comfortable for me. I'm cool with it because there's nothing to gain anyway. You know what I'm saying? Small talk, basically. I don't know what's more important than health and taking care of yourself, stuff like that. But I guess so. If you're not healthy, you can't get any money. So people be like money and stuff. I'm like, well, how you gonna get money if you're sick though? I'm confused. So let me get this straight. You want to work all this time. You want to eat bad food so that you barely live to 65. Then you want to retire at 65 in time and die? Is that the plan? It kind of make you think that the system is somewhat intentionally poisoning you so you can't collect your Social Security. Because I'd like to know how many people actually collect their Social Security for 20 years. I bet you hardly none. I bet you a lot of people don't even make it to 65. I bet you. I bet you they ain't paying nobody no full term of their money back because they killing them. Basically. So this is a good move with them getting rid of these artificial flavors and artificial coloring and stuff. Maybe this will start raising up the life expectancy. That would be beautiful if life expectancy start going back up. Because in my family, it went down, down, down. My mother's grandmother lived to be 117. My mother's granddaddy, he passed away in his 90s. My mother passed away in her 70s. Think about that. 117, 90, 70 something. Down. That's on my mother's side. My father's side, both his parents was dead before he had me. He passed away in his 80s. He wasn't in no type of shape eating that junk. He ate all that meat supposed to make you big and strong. He was all skin and bones when he passed away because by the time you get older, your gut gonna be gone. You ain't gonna be able to keep no food on your stomach. You're gonna be so full of parasites and stuff all them years. It's bad for black people, because We don't know the history of ourselves, so we just doing what we was taught under Jim Crow. But it's sad seeing so many people just going to the hospital. Like they basically are voluntarily going to the hospital. Basically, they might as well just sign up to go. And then they end up like this.
Here at dialysis. I'm almost finished. Got about 30 minutes left, and then I got to try to get home. Hope everybody's having a great morning, a fantastic Monday. For those of you guys just tuning in, I suffer from kidney failure, COPD, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, and diabetes. I make these videos to show people that even with all you got going on health-wise.
Hold on. Because I never really listened to him close. Did you hear what he said he suffered from? Hold on. Did he name 5 or 6 things? Or is it me? Did he name, first he said COPD. I said, okay, I don't know what that is. And then he said, this, I got COPD, I got this, I got that. I said, wait a minute. That's the first time I paid attention. I just usually let y'all watch. See what I'm talking about? Bro, hold on. All right, let's watch it through this time. Unbelievable.
Here at dialysis. I'm almost finished. Got about 30 minutes left, and then I got to try to get home. Hope everybody's having a great morning, a fantastic Monday. For those of you guys just tuning in, I suffer from kidney failure, COPD, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, and diabetes. I make these videos to show people that even with all you got going on health-wise, you can still push through and try to make it. I'm waiting on my kidney pancreas transplant so I can get some of my health back, and I hope that goes swimmingly. I'm back home from dialysis. This morning was kind of crazy. I got real nauseous and dizzy towards the end. I was out of it. I didn't know where I was. I kind of gathered myself back and realized I was still at dialysis, and I was able to call for the nurse. They called for 911, and by the time they got there, I was slowly back to feeling well, but it was real crazy. I never felt like that before. I almost passed out, and I was just feeling real sick. I thought I was just going to throw up. But like I said, I started feeling better after a while. I'm still kind of weak, but I'm just hanging out at home. I just had lunch, so hopefully I'll be feeling a little better in a little while.
See what I'm saying? And it's just like, it reminds me of young brothers, young men I know when they go to prison. It's like they wait till they go to prison before they realize that they did all this stuff to go to prison. And now you know what I'm saying? Now you're doing 30 years, life, 15 years, 25 years. And then 1 month you realize you finally realize you gone. Like you didn't have enough sense to like think about that the whole time, because anything can happen. You ain't gonna necessarily live forever, but you have to try to live. And if you're trying to live, you need to be reading ingredients on what you eating. One thing about life, and food is the best example, you got to remember that the people you buying stuff from, they trying to make money. So they'll sell you anything. They're trying to make money. They'll sell you a garbage vacation, a flight here, a flight there. They'll sell you this. They'll sell you stuff and try to make you think it's for you. But it's not for you. It's for them. It's not for you. You have to think for yourself to get what's for you. And the only thing of any value is life. No life, what else got value for you if you dead? This is what I don't be understanding. That's why I say health is wealth. Because if you dead, you're not wealthy, you dead. Somebody else got the money. Make it make some sense. There's people I know that get, look, here I am. I've been plant-based now for 47 years. I'm right here. I talk to a lot of hardworking people, and they say, man, you know, vegan is expensive. I'm right in the middle. Then over here, I know a bunch of ballers. I know a bunch of people got big businesses, and they got a lot of money. Why they don't eat right? These say they don't eat right because it's too expensive. These, I'm thinking if I'm filthy rich, I'm eating grapes with seeds in it. I'm getting exotic fruits. I'm eating the best wheat in the world. I'm figuring if I'm rich, I'm eating the most healthiest stuff ever. They get money. They eating straight trash. Yeah, I seen he's got his leg because he worried about everything but the right thing. And it's like, that's just the beginning. My friend I grew up with as a child, first he got his toe cut off. Then he got his foot cut off, like the left one, left toe, big toe on the left, then the foot, then the left leg. Then after so long, they didn't even do the other leg one part at a time. They just cut that whole leg off. And he was just on the porch. And his sister was still bringing him McDonald's in the biggest drink with 2 legs cut off. He been gone, been dead. I'm 67, which is young. This is why people think I'm old. The reason you think that I'm old is because you don't take care of yourself. Because old age don't start till 70. But because people don't take care of themselves, you don't have middle age anymore. You just got young and old. You don't have middle age. You don't believe in middle age because you're not planning to live to be 100. You're planning to die at 50. You carry yourself like you want to die at 50. So if you're going to die at 50, yeah, 40 is old. 40 is definitely old. But for me, 40 is 27 years ago. And so how could I be old now at 67? What I'm going to be at 87? Super old? No. I'm middle age. I'm about to be old in 3 more years. And they teach you to not want to be old, which is just crazy. You know, if you don't want to be old, just say you want to die, because that's only 2 choices you got. I've never seen so many people that don't like old. For you young people, watch me. Never insult somebody for being old. That's the craziest thing you could do. You basically telling the elements that you don't want to be here. I just be looking at you crazy. I be watching you curse yourself. That's how I be looking at it. When they say, you old, bro, you old. I be like, he just cursing himself. This guy is crazy. This guy is telling the universe that he don't want to be my age. And he don't even oh, you don't want to get this age. Okay, I get it. Well, don't hate on me. I want to try to get some more. I'm trying to get some more. So I don't know why why you think that make me feel bad. It make me think you stupid. when you say I'm old, unless I was 87, 77, 87. That's it. Go right ahead. You know what I mean? So this is going to help. This is going to help if people, if they get rid of these artificial flavors and colorings and stuff and get them out of here. This is definitely going to help. It's going to make it where people can't just commit suicide. They're going to have to eat. But it's going to be interesting because the people are going to complain. I guarantee you, the people are going to complain at first. Man, these Fruit Loops don't taste like the other ones. And that's going to be their big obstacle. Because they changed one cereal one before. I forgot which one it was. And the parents complained to my their kids don't like it no more. So they had to put the poison back in there. I said, man, wow. I mean, people say all type of stuff, but, you know, they be on, you know, like my father, Jens. My father said to me one day, I said, Dad, you think if y'all would have ate right, Mom wouldn't have passed away from cancer and you would be all right? He said, boy, you're going to be just like me. I was probably about 50, late 50s. He said, boy, you're going to be just like me. I thought about it. I said, Dad, you've been on high blood pressure medicine since you was in your 40s. I already beat you. He said, oh, yeah, you right. I said, I know I'm right. Shut up and eat your food. You know what I mean? Dude, what you mean I'm going to be just like you? Dude, you've been on high blood pressure medicine for 40 years. Stop talking crazy, Daddy. Stop talking crazy. Dude, stop talking crazy. How I'm going to be like you? I would have been on blood pressure medicine 20 years already, Daddy. Just talking. Because they don't understand the quality of life. It's not about living forever. It's about not being sick while you're alive. And they say you're going to die anyway, but you're not going to necessarily die anyway. You're going to be sick a long time, then die. You think you're just going to die. No, you're going to suffer. Just told you, my friend, toe cut off, suffer. Foot cut off, suffer. One leg off, suffer. Other leg off, suffer. He lived a long time getting chopped up. He didn't just die anyway. Cancer is painful, and it was a long, painful road. My mother had cancer of the uterus. And if you don't, this is what's great. If they get all these artificial flavors and coloring out the food, then they'll be like, okay, let's clean up the makeup. Let's clean up the baby powder. Let's clean up the cologne and perfume. Let's clean up the shampoo. They'll start seeing, you know what? This stuff is in everything. Let's clean this mess up. Because all your stuff is poison. Everything you got. The first level of intelligence is start to read your products. If you're not reading your products, you know how many people come over here and want to debate me? And I guarantee you, if I go to their house and I grab a bottle of shampoo, say, what's in here? And I guarantee you, if me and you read the shampoo, we don't know what this stuff is. I got to get my phone out. What's Zarbate-Frexinol? You know? Zarbate-Frexinol, benzonium 23A E. But you want to get over here, you want to debate me, and you ain't even don't know what's in nothing in your whole household. You just rubbing stuff on your body and letting people make money off you. And that's the thing. They're just making money off of you. They put all these artificial flavors and colors in this food because the government told them they need to make more food because the population has grew because of the baby boomers, my generation. So when the baby boomers came, they said, oh my God, what are we going to do? So they started cutting everything. They didn't just cut the food, they cut the clothes. They started making polyester. You couldn't get cotton shirt no more. It's cotton and polyester. They started cutting everything. You couldn't get no wool. It's wool and polyester. They started making fake clothes, fake food, fake everything, fake hair, fake cigarettes. One thing I know is when I go down south, my granddaddy would roll his own tobacco and smoke it. If he put it down, it'd go out. But you light a Cool or a Salem or something, it don't go out. It'll burn all the way up. Why? Because that's not tobacco. That's a whole bunch, like 100-something chemicals, some people have said, in the cigarette. Tobacco don't do that. Neither do ganja. You put your ganja down, it go out unless you roll it in a backwood. I mean, a blunt, because the blunt is full of trash. That's not tobacco. That's some type of cardboard they mashed together with some tobacco in it. Very little. So look, that's all for that. It's still a great day yesterday. America's getting ready to ban food dyes and artificial additives. If you're about getting some money, now is the time to maybe get in the food business. It's going to be popping. It's going to be popping. You'll get in the food business. The hemp wraps don't be hemp, bro. They be the same thing. That don't be no hemp. That be some stuff they pressed together and made a paper with it. You know what I'm saying? The best thing to do is get you some Fanta leaf. You know what I mean? Find some Jamaicans and get the Fanta leaf, the real leaf. Because all that other stuff compressed ain't no good. But the best thing is a water pipe so we could clean it out. That's why Rasta got the bong, got the chalice. You need to run that smoke through some water. You know what I'm saying? Run that smoke through some water and you'll be good to go. Always get a water pipe if you can. You know what I mean? Bongs is cool too. Run it through some water to clean it. But most of all, y'all eat right. You know what I mean? Eat right and take care of yourself. And I'm going to play one more video and I'm going to be out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, who else gonna take care of you? You know what I'm saying? All you got is yourself. You know what I mean? That's all you got. Victory. And go vegan. Oh, before I do that, one more thing. Make sure you go to www.veganintel.com and get the easiest way to become a vegan. If you're trying to change the way you eat, grab this. Everybody that ordered last week, your orders is on the way. This is what you need right here. And this will help you clean it up. The easiest way to become a vegan. Okay? Grab that and shout out to everybody that's got their manual. I'm proud of all of y'all that's out there changing. I got a long list of people changing the way they eat. So keep doing it, y'all. Positive.
health, and longevity. If you want to consume more plant-based foods, if you want to abstain from junk foods, if you want to consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and herbs, and avoid dead flesh, artificial flavors and colorings, sweeteners, anything that is unreal basically, purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Ramesses El Aton, who has been a vegan 40 plus years. He will take you step by step on how to abstain from the junk foods, how to abstain from the dead flesh, the chicken, the turkey, the pork, beef, and all sorts of animal products. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan, to eat more natural. Remember that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Consume of every fruit-bearing and herb-bearing tree. Unto you it shall be for meat. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Ramesses El Aton. Peace, health, and longevity.
Pan around the room, see what's going on, see what the numbers is looking like. It's my dialyzer, and that's my dialysis machine. Some things that I just wasn't paying attention to, and hopefully this can help you guys out. So one was laziness. Laziness was one of the things. It was a big thing for me because get my crystals out. But laziness was one. They say like when you get a lack of wanting to do things that you normally do, but see, the catch-22 with that is that can be considered depression. It could be seasonal depression. Mine started fall/winter. So I thought I was going through seasonal depression. So I kind of ignored that and I kind of threw it off as maybe I work too much, I don't get enough sleep, or I just need to go to sleep. So that's one. The second one was dry mouth. At night, I would have a lot of dry mouth. That resulted into me snoring. I never really used to snore until right before. But my mouth used to get real dry, super duper dry. Another one is I used to urinate a lot. And when I say a lot, like maybe every hour, every half hour, 45 minutes, hour and a half. Like I was using the bathroom a lot. And at first I thought it was because another symptom was the fact that I was super duper thirsty. And I used to drink all the time, like a lot of water. I used to guzzle 16-ounce water bottles. I used to guzzle 2-liter sodas, and I know I shouldn't have been drinking sodas, but I used to do that. So with that came a quick weight gain because of the fluid, and I didn't know about the fluid, so I was gaining so much weight at one point in time. And then when I had the spells where I was super thirsty and drinking a lot of water and using the bathroom a lot, I dropped like 40 pounds like this. Like I'm thinking about a month or 2. 2 months. Like basically 20 pounds a month. I was dropping the weight. And at first I thought it was because I'm drinking water. I was doing a little bit more. I'm like, maybe I'm just losing weight naturally. No, I was sick. So another thing was taste. Things had different taste to me. And that's when I knew something was wrong. I'm like, yo, things that used to taste a certain way to me don't taste that way. I used to think like people are making things differently, or Sprite tastes different, or soda tastes different. Sometimes I would have this metallic-y copper, well not copper, like metallic taste to things sometimes. Also, I thought I had COVID. I thought I had COVID at one time too. And I kind of wrote it off as that, but I'm glad I didn't. I took a test, it was negative, so we had to move on. Anyways, another symptom I ignored was dark spots under my arms, which I found out after I got out the hospital, that is a symptom. Can be a symptom, not necessarily the absolute symptom. And then another symptom was eye shocks. I used to get like sometimes when I used to look, I used to get like these flicker of lights in my eyes. And I used to think like, oh no, I just close my eyes, go to sleep, wake up, they'd be gone. It was actually like, I think sugar shocks in my eyes, because if you're diabetic, you understand that when your sugar is high, sometimes sugar gets in your eyes and it gets blurry, and so your sugar level can affect your vision. So, and then the last thing, before everything had happened, and I'll get in a story time about what exactly happened to me and how it happened. But before everything happened, my eyes were blurry. I could barely see, and I was seeing double. And yeah, so that's about 10 symptoms. And I'm not gonna lie, all 10 symptoms, or however many symptoms I just named, coincided with other things that I thought was either fatigue, I needed sleep, I worked too much, did too much. So I ignored them, and eventually it kept up to me. Or I'm sorry, eventually it caught up to me. So this is just a little, for anybody who's feeling that way, or just make sure you get yourself checked out. One thing I didn't do, I didn't get checked out for like a year or two. Just make sure you get yourself checked out. But anyways, I just wanted to go on to go over some symptoms that I missed or ignored or knew, but yeah, like I said, ignored. But just so you won't make the same mistakes I did, I'm going to put my story out there and put everything I did wrong so you can learn from my mistakes, so you won't have to be in this situation like me. Learn from me.